The clock is ticking, and time is running short. From a global environmental standpoint, it's 5 minutes to midnight. While efforts to curb the release of toxic agents into our environment are now a top priority, the fact is, we have yet to deal with the sins of the past. With a 50-year buildup of dioxins, pesticides, and PCBs, byproducts of our industrialized and consumer-driven society. With CFCs that destroy the Earth's protective ozone layer 20 years after they're released. The clock is ticking, and there isn't a moment to lose.
Without wanting to sound like an alarmist or an extremist of any sort, we are in a period where if we don't begin to address the environmental issues of our planet and address them quickly, we run the risk of making the planet uninhabitable for our species.
Is this the legacy we want to leave for our children and their children? Of course not. But the cost of destroying America's toxic inventory has been placed at $1.7 trillion. Can the cleanup be accomplished? Absolutely, at a fraction of the estimated cost. And one important reason for this optimistic forecast is a series of scientific breakthroughs engineered by a company called Commodore. Commodore Environmental Services is rewriting the book when it comes to the destruction and remediation of toxic wastes. Commodore's innovative solutions are based on scientific principles that were known as early as 1865, when Abraham Lincoln was president.
The basic technology has been known, and the basic science has been known for nearly 100 years. But we've made some very fortuitous and serendipitous discoveries that have allowed us to develop some applications of those technologies that are really quite new. And we think we're going to be a bit of a surprise when we get into the marketplace.
Many of our discoveries might be deemed serendipitous, but they're only serendipitous to the extent that we were looking. We had our minds open, we were prepared, we were receptive. When we saw phenomena and when we saw events occur in the laboratory, we ask ourselves, why? How is this useful? What can be done with it?
By thinking outside the box, forsaking well-worn scientific paths for bolder, less conventional ones, Commodore has developed efficient and economical methods for treating and destroying hazardous wastes. For contaminated soil, Commodore's technologies offer virtually complete destruction of PCB, dioxin, pesticides, and other harmful agents, with a process performed on-site that not only cleans the soil, but enriches it as well. For contaminated surface areas, like pavement and buildings, Commodore's process allows for a complete cleanup, with no damage whatsoever to the original property. For chlorofluorocarbons and other ozone-depleting substances, Commodore developed a means to separate and selectively destroy the dangerous molecules at room temperature, with no harmful byproducts. And Commodore's scientists are hard at work on a process that would clean up radioactive contamination. Commodore's remarkable creativity goes beyond science to business, with a unique and open-minded approach toward marketing their new technologies.
Commodore's long-term strategy is not to become a player in the environmental arena in the conventional sense. We do not plan to become a remediation contractor. We do not plan to be directly involved in the cleanup business. We are a source of technology, and we hope to bring that technology into the marketplace to those who need it most.
What we hope to do is to find partners who have an interest in cleaning up those sites, either because they're in the business of doing that or because they own the contaminated property that they would just as soon be able to sell or otherwise use, and that they will join with us in some sort of a commercial partnership to actually execute the cleanup using our technology.
Commodore's creative approach to problem solving even includes a turnkey solution for contaminated real estate. Commodore will acquire the property, create commercial partnerships to handle legal and financial liabilities, and then return the property to productive use. Clearly, in a growing number of instances, when environmental contamination is the problem, Commodore is the solution. One of the most attractive features of Commodore's technology is its simplicity. Take, for example, the soil remediation process.
Our process can take contaminated soil and decontaminate it by simply putting the soil into what is in effect a glorified cement mixer, injecting some liquid ammonia, mixing it for a couple of minutes, and dropping in a chunk of the reactive metal, sodium or calcium or any of the other metals that we use. After we have completed mixing the soil and ammonia, have added the metal, and the process is complete, we then separate the ammonia from the soil goes back into the environment, the ammonia comes right back around and is reused over and over.
Byproducts of the process are ordinary table salt and trace amounts of ammonia, which actually enriches the soil with valuable nitrogen. And what about the contaminant?
The most careful testing that we've been able to do shows the process to be essentially instantaneous, and destruction is 100%.
Each of Commodore's innovative solutions has proven to be as safe, thorough, and environmentally friendly as anything available in the marketplace today. But perhaps the most attractive feature of each new Commodore technology is its remarkably competitive cost, significantly less than any other process currently available.
There is no comparison with respect to cost. Our process will definitely be far less expensive and considerably more effective in that the soil is fully recoverable once the process is complete. Soil that's been through an incinerator is hopelessly destroyed.
Presently, the primary competitive technology for that process is incineration, but again, it's a high temperature and high cost, and ours, of course, operates at room temperature, and again, we think we've got a significant cost advantage.
We are making our process very, very reasonably postured in the marketplace because we see a very real need for recovering the useful materials and destroying the unnecessary materials.
There is competition. There are other companies who have a variety of technologies in the marketplace, but we think our technology has competitive advantage over any others that we're aware of. Advantage either in terms of the destruction efficiency that we can achieve, the time frame in which we can achieve it, or perhaps most importantly, the cost at which we can do it.
The clock is ticking, and the midnight hour is near.
The harm that's been done to the environment is not irreversible, but it represents a very, very large challenge.
A challenge that Commodore stands willing to meet.
The kinds of problems that our technology can solve are problems that exist around the world that have developed as a result of industrial activity in virtually every country. So there's no location around the world that doesn't need solutions of the type that we offer through our technology. Certainly we provide solutions of the answer kind. That's why we're in business, and that's why we think we're going to be successful, because we think we're going to provide answers for which there's a great demand in the marketplace.
Our technologies are technologies that are designed to make money, but they are also designed to make life better for those around us. And it's this focus that drives us and pushes us ever further into our work.
With innovative solutions for a healthier planet, Commodore Environmental Services.